I put this little clip in here so you guys could see me walk up to the tiller and the tiller cranked on the first try. There are a lot of things I don't like about this tiller, but I love the way it cranks. Our contract with NRCS requires us to grow crops in the ground in the hoop house for the first 3 years. We weren't sure if in the ground included raised beds with wooden frames like this, so we decided not to push the issue and raise the crops in raised beds like this. The first step, of course, is to try and soften up this hard Georgia red clay that we built this hoop house on. We knew we were going to have to amend this atrocious soil with all kinds of compost and organic material, but the first thing to do was to till it up good. The first rear tine tiller that I owned was a Craftsman, and the tines rotated in the same direction as the tiller moved. That old tiller tried to run away from me sometimes, so I decided when I replaced it that I would get a counter-rotating tine tiller. That means the tines rotate backwards from the direction the tiller's moving. It seemed like a good idea at the time, but the counter-rotating tines have their own issues. They tend to pile up dirt, soil, and organic material in front of the tines and behind the wheels and cause the tiller to kind of get stuck in place. This is a powerful tiller and it does a good job tilling up the soil, but sometimes it is a bear to control. Although you can see how dusty the soil is, it's very dry in this hoop house. The tiller did a really good job in breaking up the soil and getting it ready to amend. I don't know if y'all can see this. The temperature over there on the right hand dial under the about 330 is 70, is almost 80 degrees in here right now. And the humidity over here on the left hand side is about 52%. So we watch that humidity fluctuate between 30 and 80% depending on whether we water the plants in the ground or not. Okay, those are the crops we got planted in the hoop house. Over there against the far wall is strawberries. We have red kale, red cabbage, regular kale, regular cauliflower, red cauliflower. We've got some Bib lettuce. We've got some collards, broccoli, Brussels sprouts are all down here inside the hoop house. The temperature in here today is about 72 degrees. This is October 31st. Anyway, you can see what the inside of the hoop house looks like. We're still using it for storage. We salvaged some volunteer tomatoes and put them in 5-gallon buckets. We really don't know what they're going to wind up being, but they're pretty healthy right now. They're actually blooming. We cut off all of the suckers and the blooms on them. So we're going to see if we can actually grow some of this stuff in the hoop house during the winter. This is on the end of the row where we ran out of plants before we ran out of row. You can see what the soaker hose does. You can't see it very well under the mulch back here, but you can see down there how well it wets the ground, and it wets the ground right under the plants. No waste. This is looking down from the other end of the hoop house towards the south, and you can see that we've got some really good crops growing in here. We found some aphids, and we're trying to keep them under control. We have the sugar ants that want to farm the aphids, and the sugar ants are coming in under the toe board over there on the right side, and that's going to be a problem we're going to have to deal with. Thanks for watching the Itchy Farm channel. You can watch the entire series on building a commercial-grade hoop house. We call it the Hoop House Saga. You can watch the antics of a couple of old farts trying their best not to be so old. And you can learn tips and techniques for improving your success growing fruits, vegetables, and berries.